This business about passing on the seat or a related seat to the son or daughter, which seems to be the growing practice, certainly in the Bronx, but not limited to it, of Latino politicians. What do you make of all that?
It's tired. It's tired. This is what we've been talking about, expanding the pipeline, and this is what we've been hearing from folks on the ground who want to be in leadership positions. It's about stepping back and saying, what are the needs of our community and who has the skill set or potential to bring it forward? And I agree with Fernando that some folks can rise to the occasion, even though they've, gotten their seats, through family, but it's nepotism, right? Yes. Nepotism, that's right. But it shouldn't be it should not be the model of leadership for our community. And what he didn't mention is that you have this whole Hatfields and McCoys battle in the Bronx between the Diaz's and the Riveras,
yes.
So this is not, and one thing I did want to point out is that I feel is unfair is the way the family dynasty gets played out among different sets of communities, so you can have the Weprins and Queens who've been empowered collectively together for 40 years or were, and that doesn't get played out as some kind of like, collective defect of a community, but for us, for Latinos, it does, But that being said, the fundamental issue is expanding the pipeline to get the people in there in leadership positions that can best represent our community.
What's your take, Roberto?
I don't agree with the practice, but it's the reality. And if it's not nepotism, it's you were my chief of staff for 8 years, now you deserve to be.
And that happens that's pretty widespread.
That's common.
Yes.
That's common. If it's not, again, nepotism, it's, a staffer. My staffer, or you have to wait. My staffer was here 8 years serving the community, so now he's, or if it's not your biological son, it's your adopted son or daughter.
Yes.
And that's the way it's been since Tammany Hall.
Okay, but here's the question I have. I hear the defense all the time, for example, from some of the people who operate and run in machine-like organizations, funding organizations which they control, which is made up all of their supporters and people who work in their campaigns, that little game that goes on. And they'll say, hey, listen, the others did that before we arrived. This is a long-standing tradition in American politics. And in that respect, they're right, although some of the details differ over time. But my question to both of you is, can the Latino community, given all its needs, and it's standing in the political equation, can it afford that kind of politics?
Well, there has to be a navigation. I mean, you don't shift from, A to Z overnight, but the idea, I think the disappointment comes is when you get someone in office who says that they're a reformer, who wants to do something differently, and then just goes back to the status quo of preserving their position, of not, not holding the line for our community, and not working in partnership.
Creates cynicism and apathy, doesn't it?
Yes, of course it does.